Well, welcome back to Dog Turds into Diamonds. We start off today's episode by looking at Anthony Johnson. He is a 20-year-old Nigerian striker, and he is our new record signing. £250,000, the most we have ever spent on a player. Rocco Vata was previously our record signing for £220,000. That was just 10 days before we brought in Anthony Johnson. So we have spent this pre-season now almost £500,000 on new strikers. And Anthony Johnson, he looks pretty good. He generated at AC Milan, never played a league game for them, went back to his native Nigeria where he played 27 league games, scoring 16 goals. And as you can see, he has started out for us with 2 goals in 2 games. He came off the bench in the Championship for his debut and grabbed a goal before scoring in the Carabao Cup in our last game as well. I really hope Anthony Johnson is that next level striker that we need to just really secure our place in the Championship this season. Hopefully be really comfortable. I'm hoping he's going to get a lot of goals. He has got that brilliant 14 acceleration, 14 agility, 14 and balance. That goes really well with his 15 dribbling. He should be a really great individual threat. And then with his 15 pace, 14 stamina, 12 strength, he looks just superb physically. Off the ball, 14. He needs to improve his decisions, his composure, his anticipation to be a real top level striker, but I think he's got everything needed to get there. 13 finishing, not bad as well. Hopefully that will improve, as will his 10 passing, and he also takes a decent penalty. So I'm really hopeful that this is the Championship level striker that I was looking for. Our scouting team found him, and it just seemed like such a good price. You can see he's already rated as being worth between £1.5 and £3 million. Does he have a release clause? He does. He has a minimum release clause of 3.2 million. Hopefully he will do so well that he will be worth every penny of that, and then maybe we can offer him a new contract and try and get rid of that clause or get it up. But for now, I think we found a really great striker for the rest of the season. And as I mentioned, that just takes our spending in this transfer window up to just short of £500,000 by signing those 2 players. Rocco Vata, by the way, is a really good deep lying forward. Look at that, he's got fantastic composure, fantastic first touch, decent finishing, really great passing and vision. I want to try and train him to be the number 10, maybe as a replacement for Harry Wilson at the end of this season. But I think I'm really pleased with these 2. They look fantastic. I think we are set for the season. So with that, let's get into today's episode. We are going to take on Norwich at home, and then in a couple of weeks' time, we will be going away to West Brom, 2 teams that were relegated from the Premier League last season. Let's get into it. Yes, welcome back to Dog Turds into Diamonds, here with AFC Rushden and Diamonds, enjoying our first few games in the Championship. You can see, looking at the table on the left there, we were in 11th place after 3 games played. We've got a game in hand on the top teams. If we were to win that game in hand, we could go as high as 4th. 2 draws and a win. It's been a really pleasing start. If we take a look at results so far, we of course drew 2-2 with Millwall on the opening game of the season. We were twice ahead. We were the better team. Ended up getting a draw. We then took on Luton Town at home in the first round of the Carabao Cup. An incredible 5-1 win here against a team that was relegated from the Championship last season. You can see we completely played them off the park, and also with a few changes. In came Kincannon and at number 10, in came Campbell on the right. In came Little in midfield. Just an outstanding performance. Let's have a look at the goals in this one. Yeah, it was just unbelievable the way everything came together. I thought it could be a tough game playing against a team that has been a fixture in the Championship throughout this save. Harry Wilson getting his first AFC Rushden Diamonds goal. They immediately replied with an equaliser from Burton, but we then just stepped it up, and some of the goals were absolutely beautiful, including this one. Concannon setting up Campbell there. And then in the second half, we just took them apart. Concannon with another assist. The goalkeeper dropping it in front of Harry Brady for his first of the season. And it only got better from there. Campbell setting up Concannon for probably the goal of the game. But then look at the assist on this goal here. What a back heel from Harry Brady to set up Campbell. Wow. Concannon man of the match, a goal and 3 assists for him. Absolutely superb performance, and it gave us a lot of confidence to take into our next game. We were at home against Reading. We drew 2-2, and the disappointing thing here is, as you can see, we were 2-0 up with half an hour to go. Harry Brady scoring again, assisted by Ellis Chapman. Mario Caciel, he got another goal assisted by Jones. And then just 8 minutes later, they pulled one back before they got a penalty in the 77th minute. Really, really devastating. Again, we completely dominate the game, didn't hit the target enough, which we know is a major problem for us. They did have the better of the possession, Reading, but if you look at the XG, the amount of shots, the fact that we were 2-0 up, we really should have won it. It was disappointing, but we then got our first league win of the season when we went away to Ipswich Town. And look at this. Once again, we were exceptional. Played them off the park, and a very, very comfortable win. Let's have a look at how this one went. Well, it was a real close game in the first half, but right at the end of that first period, Harry Brady with a superb half volley. He'd had a quiet game before that, but he got another goal before Caciel saw his cross palmed out into Johnson for a goal on his debut when he came off the bench. And we weren't done there. Jones floating across in, and Mario Caciel, our top scorer with 4 goals this season, heading in for 3-0. Just a little shout out to Harry Brady. With the fact that we've spent nearly $500,000 on strikers, I don't know how much he is going to be able to keep his place. Obviously, I want to give priority to the players that are our own players, rather than developing Harry Brady for the benefit of Sheffield United. But right now, he has got 3 in his first 5 games this season, 2 in 3 in the league. I am going to stick with him for as long as he is putting those numbers up. The 6'5" hitman. Very good start to the season from him. So now we kind of look a little bit top heavy in terms of the amount of strikers we've got. Yeah, we have, as you can see, we have just lost our first game of the season. We went away to Premier League Southampton, still managed by Xavi, still playing a 4-4-2. We went away to Southampton. We got played off the park, well beaten 4-1. But as you can see, it was a completely changed team. I played Tommy Reed in goal for the first time this season. He had a bit of a nightmare, as did our defence. Dreyer started, Nolan started, Saunders got his debut at left back, Apaya got his debut. Didn't do too badly actually at centre back. It was Little and Malicio in midfield, Vata playing as the number 10, with Concannon on the left, Campbell on the right. They were all very, very poor. And Johnson up front got our consolation goal in this one. I rested the players because I thought, well, you know what? It's very unlikely we're going to go away to a Premier League team and win. We are playing Norwich just 3 days later. I thought I would rather rest my starting players take the hit, accept that we're going to go out of the Carabao Cup. Well, I mean, when we weren't really contenders to win it, the board only wanted us to get to the second round. We achieved that. So yeah, I made the sacrifice, and I decided to accept defeat in the Carabao Cup to try to get something out of this game with Norwich. Now, Norwich are absolutely superb. They are obviously just been relegated from the Premier League. They have had to sell a couple of players back to Premier League teams, but they are still very, very strong. I would make them huge favourites to be promoted this season. So this is a tough game. I thought playing at home, maybe we can get a point out of it. Maybe we can cause an upset. But I wanted to rest the players to try and achieve that. So it's Sanisalo in goal. Igor Luiz and Dylan Jones are the fullbacks. Pakula now getting closer to full match fitness. And Callum Simpson at centre-back. In midfield, it's Alex Baker and Malicio. That is because we unfortunately have a little bit of an injury to Eugenio Moreno. He is out for another 4 days. So I am playing Malicio as the box-to-box midfielder. Eddie Little on the bench. Do I actually want to change them? I think Eddie Little is actually a little bit fitter, isn't he? I am going to change those two up. His heart is a little bit better. Eddie Little, he's done all right in the games he's played so far this season. So we'll start him. And then we've got Mario Cacchiao on the right, our top scorer. Harry Wilson, who's been looking great as that advanced playmaker. We now have that advanced playmaker close to the striker. Instead of playing a deep line playmaker here, Baker is now a central midfielder on defend. Chapman will be the left winger, and Harry Brady will continue up front, hopefully to continue his great goal scoring form. On the bench, we've got Ufe Dreyer, Brian Nolan, Malicio Concannon, our midfield options. Campbell is a right wing option. Johnson can play right wing or striker, and Rocco Vata on the bench as well. And do you know what I might do? I might bring Josh Kennedy in for Campbell, because we do have Johnson there as that right wing option. Josh Kennedy now gives us a left wing option. He's just come back into full training. He's obviously nowhere near fit yet, but I'm excited to see what he can give us. He's good mentally. He is superb physically with that great agility, balance and acceleration. Great stamina as well. And with that crossing and dribbling, I think he's going to be a really good left wing option as Ellis Chapman kind of winds down his career. So, yeah, I will leave Campbell out. I'm going to bring Kennedy in on the bench for a possible debut. That is how we're set up. Yeah, who else have I got on the bench that I might want to use? I think we're good with that. So that is the team that is going to go into this game, top of the table clash against Norwich. Let's get into it here. Let's set up our marking options. I like that Norwich are playing a 4-4-2. Again, I think our system suits playing against 4-4-2 quite nicely. Hopefully Harry Wilson is going to get a lot of space in between the midfield and the defence to just really dictate the game in there. I think we need to show everybody what we're all about. Yeah, let's go with that. With us having been defeated in our last game, that kind of makes sense, even though none of these players, apart from Eddie Little, was involved in that game from the start. So let's mark up their fullbacks just for when they attack us, which will be very important. I'm not going to set up any other specific marking responsibilities. Let's see, can we make home advantage count? Can we carry our good form on into this game and maybe get an upset against a very, very good team? They have superb attacking players. We might need to think a little bit more defensively, depending on how things go. And here's Balogun early on. Mputu putting Balogun in, and a great block. He was offside anyway, but that was great defending to get back to it there. Now, how much are we going to be able to really impose ourselves on this game? Right now, there is not much going on. I am not playing to get stuck in as it stands, but we might need to do that. We are giving away over 70% possession But we do have a highlight here. We have the possession. Can we keep hold of it? Baker finding Brady, and Harry Brady has scored again. No, he hasn't. It's been disallowed for offside. Oh, what a finish, but he is clearly offside, no doubt about it. A brilliant finish from Harry Brady. Whatever limitations he might have, he is a great finisher. And are we slowly creeping into this game more and more? A good performance so far, even giving away so much possession to this Norwich team. We have still had as many shots as them, and we've had the only shot of the game on target. Another highlight, Sanisalo out to Igor Luiz, and Kakiao, can he create something from the right here? He sends it back to Baker. Harry Wilson finding little shot over the bar, and you feel like we have to take one of these chances against such a good team. We're not going to get many opportunities, but it's been a good performance so far. You have to say we've been the better team, even without much of the ball. So let's see if they can keep it going in the second half. Hopefully make a difference. We've got a lot of firepower on the bench now with our new attacking signings. I'm really pleased that we've managed to end the transfer window by getting those attacking players, and Alex Baker has got his first of the season. We are in front against Norwich now. We have lost the lead in 2 games this season when we were up in the league, of course, against Oldham and against Reading. Do I make changes here? It's still very early. Do I make changes and try and shut up shop a little bit here and just try and see this game out now? We are still the better team. We are still on top. We are still creating chances. I'm going to make a couple of little changes here. Now, Eddie Little, having played in the Carabao Cup game, is a little bit tired. I'm going to bring Malicio in. We get a little bit more defensive solidity there. And Harry Brady has not had a great game. I'm going to bring Anthony Johnson on up front as the advance forward. And I am also going to stop overlapping. I'm going to just try and stick a little bit. I'm not going to change anything else, I don't think. Apart from, I think I might go to get stuck in now and just try and play the physical game and sort of really make sure that we don't let Norwich get back into this. So let's see how that goes with those couple of changes as Chapman gets away down the wing here. I don't think anything's going to come to this from this highlight. I think this is just one of those highlights that plays through after you make a change. But Kakiao gets a header in at Soria there, and it could have been 2. A really good performance. I praise the players again. They're pleased with that. And we've now got 15 minutes to go. We have not given Norwich a single shot on target. And now I am just going to hold shape, slow things down, and bring back our line of engagement a little bit. I'm just going to try and see this one out now. I've got one more change left I can make. What would I want to do here? Harry Wilson is very tired. I am going to make a change here. Who do I want to bring on? I think I'm going to... Oh dear, what should I do? Do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to bring Josh Kennedy on for his debut. I'm going to make him the left winger. I'm going to make Baker a defensive midfielder. And I'm going to make Ellis Chapman a deep line playmaker, which he can do very, very well. So just really thinking more defensively here. Hopefully Kennedy's pace on the left can be a good little outlet for us on the counter-attack to finish. And I'm actually going to go full out time wasting as well. I'm going to praise the players again for a really great performance. And we've got another highlight here. To be honest, I don't want any highlights. I would much rather just get to the end of the game. But Kennedy finds Jones. Back to Malicio. Malicio to Chapman. Kennedy again, combining with Johnson. And Johnson went very close there. He has looked really sharp in his opening games. The ex-AC Milan man. We've now got 2 AC Milan players in Johnson and Pakula, who of course is on loan from the Milan Giants. Kennedy puts a corner in. It's headed away. Kaki out, all the way back to Simpson. Please just end the highlights. I'm quite happy if we don't get another highlight in this game. And it does die out there. Let's just get through this final minute. And we are 6th in the league with a fantastic win over Norwich City. And what a start to the season. Unbeaten in our first 4 games. You made the doubters eat their words, boys. That is absolutely fantastic. Alex Baker with the only goal of the game. That is absolutely awesome. Right, I am going to head forward now to West Brom away. We've got to play Portsmouth at home in between. So I will see you back for West Brom away. We'll take on another one of the league favourites, another team relegated from the Premier League last season, and also Callum Simpson's host club. So let's see if we can continue our fine start to the season, and if we can get a result at West Brom. I mean, I might actually start dreaming of doing something pretty special this season. Let's see how it goes. I'll be back very, very shortly. Welcome back for the second game of today's double header then. It is the 11th of September, and look at that table. Doesn't that look beautiful? We are in 4th place with 11 points from our first 5 games. What a start to the season. I'm absolutely delighted. And if you look at that table, the first 11 places there, this is a really strong championship table. There's some huge names there. A number of these teams that have been in the Premier League in recent seasons, and all that money that comes with it. So to have this start that we've had, I'm really, really pleased. Before we get into the game, I'm just going to show you a little bit of deadline day business that we did, which I'm quite pleased with. So right at the end of the transfer window, very late on deadline day, we did a deal to bring in Jack Evans on loan from Fulham. This is a player that I've had for quite a while on my shortlist. He is an ex-Manchester United academy player who was available on loan. We're paying nearly $5,000 a week, so it's not a cheap deal. But he looks a really, really good right winger. Brilliant agility and dribbling. A little bit of flair as well. He's very, very quick. And he is also fantastic off the ball. Fantastic at finding space. Now, it says he's a striker, but with 6 finishing, I'm really not buying into that. So, yeah, he is going to be the backup right winger for us. I think he will get games. And I think with that 6'1", 15 jumping reach and 14 heading, I mean, you can see he's probably a target man, isn't he? But with the dribbling and the 11 crossing, 11 passing, I think I'm going to be using him more as the right winger. But yeah, just another good little bit of quality to come in and strengthen the squad. Really, really pleased with that deal there. And that meant that I was able to send out John Campbell on loan to Lincoln in League One this season. I think that's going to be great for him. He's going to get a lot more games in League One than he would have got with us. He's still got a little bit of potential to fulfill. So hopefully he can come on nicely with Lincoln this season. And yeah, I mean, he's got 2 in 4 and an assist for us. No, hold on, because he's played 2 in League One with Lincoln. What had he done with us this season? Okay, so he just played a couple of games for us in the Carabao Cup. Scored a couple of goals on that first game of the season, but yeah, he probably wasn't going to play that much. So I think it's a good deal, suits everybody. Evans in, Campbell out. Hopefully he will develop. Now, if we look at the finances, what that does do to us is just put us a little bit over the wage budget. We're around about £1,500 a week over the wage budget looks. So we've got to keep an eye on that, but it's not too bad, although we are now £100,000 in the red. We are losing money hand over fist. I think at the end of the season, when the TV money comes in, I think that will probably correct itself. I think we should be okay. But we'll have to keep an eye on the finances as things go. Yeah, it's the first season in a couple of years that we haven't managed to move anybody on for big money in the transfer window. So yeah, we're struggling a little bit on the bank balance, but again, just being in the Championship now, we've got by far the lowest wage budget out of all the teams in the Championship. We've got a lower budget than Tranmere, who are the other minnow in this division, and then I think 22nd place in the Championship on wages is Barnsley, and they pay 3 times as much as we do in wages each week. So when you look at it like that, I mean, when the TV money comes in, we should be absolutely fine. So here we go. This is going to be the team that goes into the game against West Brom today. We are going to stick with the number 10. We might change that depending on how the game goes, because they are really a Premier League team. Sanisalo in goal, Igor Luiz at right back, Dylan Jones at left back. Dylan Jones having another fantastic season so far. Oh, there you go. It wouldn't be an episode of Dog Turds into Diamonds without the dog starting to bark, would it? Just hold on a second while I wait for her to stop. Now, at centre back today, we've got Pakula and Brian Nolan. Brian Nolan comes in because, of course, our captain Callum Simpson is a West Brom player, so he cannot play today. It's a big responsibility for Brian Nolan stepping into the Championship. Midfield, we've got Alex Baker, and I'm sticking with Eddie Little. He scored in our last game. We beat Portsmouth 3-2, a fantastic comeback win. And Eddie Little has been playing pretty well so far this season, so he is going to keep his starting place. Mario Kakiao is in on the right wing, Ellis Chapman on the left, Harry Wilson, and Harry Brady, who scored 2 goals against Portsmouth, keeps his starting place up front. He's got 5 in 7, 4 in 5 in the league this season. He's having an absolutely fantastic start to the season, so I just can't drop him. On the bench, it'll be Ufi Dreyer, Apaya, Malicio, Moreno, Johnson, still waiting to get that starting place, but with Brady's form, he's got to stay in. So Anthony Johnson has to wait a little while for his opportunity. And then we've got Josh Kennedy and Rocco Vata, who, he still hasn't had much opportunity himself, the deep lying forward. But I'm sure over the course of the season we'll use him. So that's how we're looking. If we just submit that team, go to the match. So Paul Daly, who we have tried to get in on loan for the last couple of seasons, is on the bench for West Brom. I'm hoping he doesn't have too much of an impact on today's game. But whatever happens, they are going to be very strong. They are playing a 3 at the back system with wing backs. Let's have a look. We've got nothing to lose here. There you go. Yeah, I think if this does turn into our first league defeat of the season today, I don't think we need to be too down about it. I think we've had a really good start, and this is without question one of the big games of the season, one of the toughest away games that we're going to have all season. So if we can get a good performance here, and maybe just get out of here with a positive result, I'd be really happy with a point. If we can do that, I think it'd be fantastic. Now, do I want to adjust for the fact that they are playing with those wing backs? I'm going to play with more width, and I will leave it at that right now. I won't focus play down the wings, but that might be something. Also, playing out to the fullbacks might be something we want to do. I'm not going to get stuck in yet either. I'll just see how we start, see how things go. But yeah, huge game. Big crowd at West Brom. And if we can get a result here, then maybe we can start really thinking positively about what we might be able to achieve this season. If we can compete away from home with the very biggest teams, that could bode well for the rest of the season. Let's just give the players an encouragement there. We've had a couple of shots already, and we get a corner headed away. Can Kakiao get it back in there? Goes out to Baker. Baker sends Kakiao in. That's a great opportunity. And Ellis Chapman has got his first of the season. Our incredible start to the season continues. And Kakiao is looking every bit the Championship level player. He's got 4 goals. He's got, I think, 2 or 3 assists now. He's looking absolutely superb, young Mario. And let's try and keep this going. We get another highlight now. Louise crosses in, headed away, but it will come out to Nolan, who puts it back in again. Kakiao and Harry Brady is there again. The Sheffield United loanee, keeping my £500,000 worth of striking talent out of the team, having an absolutely awesome season. Kakiao heads across, and Harry Brady just volleys in off the floor there. What a start we have had. 16 minutes gone, 2 goals up. And is this going to be another game that we maybe throw things away, or can we continue to dominate? We've got another highlight here. Could this be 3-0? It's away now and they're on the counter-attack. And this is dangerous, but Chapman wins it back again, and Kakiao, now he's lost it. And now it will be a chance for West Brom as Seeger goes in on the counter-attack. And that, you have to say, is absolutely horrendous goalkeeping from Sanisalo. What was he doing? Sanisalo came out, gave the whole angle of the goal there to Seeger, completely forgot about his near post. He actually conceded a very similar goal against Portsmouth. And now they get another highlight. Are we... Oh my goodness, we've had some luck there. Are we seriously going to do this? Are we going to throw this away? This is going to be their highlight again as they get the possession and out they come. Do I get stuck in here? We are not looking good at all here. We are completely open. Ma getting down the wing. Oh, and they have headed another one over. Let's make some changes here. Let's get stuck in. And I'm going to take off the overlaps. We are defending narrowly. Do I drop our line of engagement back a little bit? I am going to drop it back. I'm going to see if that helps. Just not to get caught on the counter-attack so much. They have really come into it. And let's demand more from the players. How will the players react? They absolutely hate me for that. But can we now get a bit more of a hold on this game? We have got to half-time, still in front. But West Brom have come back at us here, haven't they? I'm going to tell them I'm happy with the performance. I know they say you should never do that on Football Manager. You should never tell the players you're happy at half-time. But I just want to try and bump up the morale and the motivation. Baker heads that away, but Seeley gets it into Ma. And now we are looking like we are really in trouble. They hit the post. It was offside. Now, do I pull Harry Wilson back into midfield or even take him off? Let's encourage the players. They hate me for that as well. The defenders are pleased with me. The rest of the team hates me. Let's try and just even things up in midfield. Let's try and... I think I might even take Harry Wilson off. Even as important as he is to this side, I think I'm going to go defensive here. Let's get Malicio in. I'm going to make Malicio a defensive midfielder on defend. I'm going to see if that can help us just shore things up a bit. Let's make Baker a deep line playmaker now that we don't have a playmaker there. And let's see if we can just hold on to this result. I've got Johnson that can come in on right wing as well. Kakiao is looking very, very tired. I'm going to demand more of the players. Again, they haven't responded well to that. West Brom are well on top now in possession and shots. What else do I change here? 15 minutes to go. I'm going to make another couple of changes here. I think Chapman and Kakiao having to follow their fullbacks are extremely tired with all the running that they've had to do. I'm going to bring Johnson on as an inside. Well, I mean, it says he's a really good winger. All right, I'll leave him as a winger. And Kennedy, now he is an inverted winger. So let's make him an inverted winger on support. Just help out a little bit more further back. And let's see if we can just hold on to what would be an absolutely huge result. I'm going to praise the players now, see how they respond to that. A little bit better perhaps. Now let's just go full out, shoot on sight, full out time wasting, hold the shape, slow everything down. I'm going to play out to the fullbacks as well, just because they're the players that should have the space on the field. So let's see how that works. 5 minutes to go. We have had to really dig in this second half. No doubt about it, West Brom have been the better team since our opening 2 goals early on, but we are in with a chance here. Brady put in by Baker and over the bar. It's the only highlight we've had, I think, since early in the first half. But we are going to hold on, and we've got another 3 points against one of the major rivals in the division. That is absolutely phenomenal. There you go. You've proved the doubters wrong, boys. What can you say about this start to the season we have had? Absolutely ridiculous. I was not expecting this at all. I have got pretty much all the targets that I wanted in the transfer window. I would have loved a really dominant defensive midfielder, but that aside, I've really strengthened up front where I felt like we needed more firepower. And now we've had just a dream start to the season. Where can we go from here? I don't want to count any chickens. I still think we're probably a mid-table team, but I have never had a start like this, jumping up to the Championship from League One and instantly be competing at the top of the table. It usually takes a season or 2 of building to get to that, but this has been incredible. Well, look at that table. I mean, drink it in, will you? Drink it in. Second in the table on goal difference behind Stoke right now. We now have another couple of big away games coming up. We're away at Tranmere next, who are obviously bottom of the table after coming up through the playoffs from League One last season. Hopefully we continue our winning form against them. And then I think we go away to Blackburn, which is going to be a huge game. But those are a really unexpected 3 points against West Brom. To get 3 points away at West Brom and 3 points at home against Norwich in today's episode is just more than I was dreaming of. Absolutely delighted. Let's have a look at the schedule and let's see when we might be back then. All right, let's have a look. Let's see what games are coming up over the next couple of months that we might want to just take a look at when we are next back. Let's have a look here. So Tranmere and Blackburn away in the next couple of games. Well, if I had known that we're going to be doing so well, I would probably have come back for Stoke at home. Look, but as it's only a few games away, and we're still in the first few games of the season. I don't think I'm going to come back quite so soon. I think maybe what we might do, we could do a double header perhaps in here. FA Cup first round, and then Sunderland. I thought we didn't play the first round anymore. I thought Championship teams came into the FA Cup at the 3rd round. Am I mistaken about that? Let's have a look and see how things go. I think Sunderland at home looks like a nice one, a nice romantic one. Obviously, we lost to them in the FA Cup a couple of seasons back when Frank Lampard was the manager. We could do perhaps Sunderland at home and the FA Cup if we're in that, or we could do Sunderland at home, Huddersfield away as a double header perhaps. What's going on in December as well? I mean, there's just so many big games, so many big names in the Championship now. So I think we'll probably look at that. We'll probably look at the FA Cup and Sunderland at home, and we'll see. That will be quite a few games time, and I think so when we come back there, we'll be able to see sort of just how well the season is going, and maybe what our objectives, what our aspirations could be for this season. So we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching today. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like on the video. Really, that would really help me out with the algorithm and everything else. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to it if you would like to see more of these videos. And let's see if AFC Rushden and Diamonds could be in for something spectacular. spectacular this season. Let's see how that goes. Well, thanks very much for watching. Bye for now, and keep your fingers crossed for us. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now from Dog Turds into Diamonds.